How long was Neil Armstrong actually on the moon? When did Europe start speaking English? Did Marco Polo really go to China? CuriosityStream is the streaming service for all things history, plus science, wildlife, and more. What's the real story behind the Mona Lisa? We've got that. What caused the collapse of Rome? We know. Where did we find mankind's earliest ancestor? Come find out. For the holidays, give the gift of curiosity with 25% off gift cards for your curious cohorts. It's holiday shopping season at curiositystream.com/gift.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Well, hello, my paranormal peeps. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the founder and lead investigator with Woods Paranormal. I am also your host of the Woods Paranormal podcast, along with my wife, Amanda. We've been investigating the paranormal for close to 30 years now. She does a podcast every Wednesday. She does Amanda's Ghost Stories. I do a podcast every Monday and Friday. Essentially, Monday's podcast is basically anything goes. So this comes out every Monday. On Friday, I do a Bigfoot podcast only, where we only talk about things Bigfoot only. On the Anything Goes Paranormal podcast, we talk about anything paranormal, be it Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, haunted locations, cryptid creatures, river monsters, UFOs, strange lights, whatever. We cover that. And then sometimes we're lucky enough to have guests come on. So that happens on Friday nights. Well, we usually release those on Friday nights. I know this is Friday and you're getting the Monday podcast. Amanda and I have been just swamped between setting up a business, basically working full time, both of us, and then other things, planning for the OP Pyle House, which was a lot of fun. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute here. We've just been swamped. And so trying to get a podcast done has been a little bit more difficult than normal. Normally, I'm able to get one out at least once a week, if not twice a week. And then she does, like I said, her Wednesday podcast where she talks about old ghost stories and stuff like that she had. So let's talk about the OP Pyle House. If you've listened to our previous podcast, we did a couple of previous podcasts on it, talking it up and talking about it. And it was definitely worth going. We had an amazing time. We not only met with other investigators that were there investigating the house, we got to stay afterwards, after they left, and actually spend the night and basically investigate the whole house by ourselves without any interference of anybody else. So what happened was we started out with podcasts. We were going to go live, and we did for a little while on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, until Facebook essentially wouldn't let us go live for some reason. They just would not let us do it. I don't know what was up with that. I don't know. Facebook and I don't really get along. But anyways, so yeah, we did the podcast. We basically spent the first 2 or 3 hours basically just kind of mingling and talking to different paranormal people that were there. I say paranormal people. There was teams, there was people, there was, you could tell there's more scientific side represented, which is us, and a few other teams were also very scientific, which is awesome. You had the medium side where people basically didn't use any gear and basically were communicating with whatever was there. And that was really cool to see and get information from them about what questions we should ask and stuff like that. Always good to have a medium with you if you can. We have a couple of friends that also come with us from time to time on different investigations. And basically, sometimes uh, we won't have that. We'll just go in and try and debunk everything and go from there. But anyway, so that's usually on private investigations. You guys probably won't see any of those investigations unless the client um, wants us to show it, which 99% of the time they don't want their information out there or anybody seeing what's going on in their home, because they're unfortunately afraid of essentially being ridiculed or made fun of or whatever, and that's terrible. Anyways, getting back to the Pyle House. So the first 2 or 3 hours after we were done mingling with people, they started their investigations. It was really cool because the house is so large. There's two houses. There's a house and there's a bunkhouse in the back. And so people were back there investigating too, and then on the grounds too. There's a lot of activity that seems to happen at this house. It seems to be very paranormally charged. A lot of bad things have happened on this house, at this house. The more we talked to people, the more information we got. We never made any contact with. Well, no, I think we did. I take that back. We never directly looked to have contact with this spirit named Buzz, or Boz. I'm sorry. He is like I don't know what you would call him, like the boss of the house. And basically he's very aggressive and gets agitated real easy and has done things to people that, were not fun. So not going to get into that. I don't want this to be negative. Rarely does that ever happen, but those people were also being cruel and being aggressive towards him and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you do that and you sit there and yell and scream or call people names or whatever, they're going to react. I mean, I would too. I'd probably get upset if somebody kept poking me. Anyways, so here's what happened after the live didn't work. We started interviewing people as they were coming out from their investigations. We were lucky enough to have 4 people sit down with us, or 4 teams, if you will, sit with us. This event was like a mixing pool of all the paranormal things. We had, like I said, the scientific teams. You had just the enthusiasts. You had mediums. You had psychics there. You had like tarot card readers. It was a lot of fun. A lot of nice people. Really enjoyed conversing with you guys. And again, I can't thank the owners enough for letting us come out and stay. We had an amazing time, and we definitely documented some strange things. I've got a video I'm going to release on TikTok here, probably the next couple hours, maybe tomorrow. I have not shown the owner this yet, so I'm a little hesitant to release evidence before the owner's actually seen it. But it's a cool piece of evidence. The DVR cameras caught it. I think we're gonna do a show just on the DVR, which is basically the home security cameras that we use. We set out between 4 and 13 or 14 of them throughout the night in different locations. They pick up motion. They record from anywhere from 6 seconds all the way up to about 3 minutes. And so you can kind of see what's going on when things happen. The video I'm going to show you on TikTok is only about 6 seconds long, but it's amazing. What I'll probably do is attach the before and after so you guys can see that nothing was being messed with and nobody was in there when that happened. I don't want to get into too much detail, but so we interviewed 4 paranormal teams, or 4 paranormal people, I should say. So we're going to be releasing those every Monday for the next 4 weeks. On week 5, I'm going to hopefully have a conversation with my friend Terry. He actually spent most of his night out in an area where 2 of the previous owners were buried under the gazebo. And I want to talk to him about his experiences there. I don't know if he had a chance to go through the house and try and communicate with anything, but I know he's investigated there before at the Pyle House, and so he's got stories. And then he was staying at a haunted location across the way, the old hotel that basically was.
Discover, this is Daniela.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great, but with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Do you like asparagus and mushroom sorbet? I've got leftovers.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Just recently renovated and reopened. And before that, it was basically falling apart, and it was going to go into a demo if they had basically come out and said, hey, we're gonna upgrade this. So all right, so like I said, those, and then the last interview we're gonna do is with the actual owner. We're gonna do an interview with her and have her talk about her experiences, which will be fun because she's been there for a long time. She lived there for a long time, and then she can tell us about any other experiences we didn't hear about. And then at the end we'll sit down and we'll present all of our evidence to her, and you can see her reactions and see what, and ours too. Some of the evidence we've caught so far is like, what in the world? I don't want to get into it. All right. So I'll just talk about my personal experiences because they may not make it onto the YouTube channel show. When we first started setting up, I went into the bathroom downstairs and was actually washing my hands, and I saw something in the mirror behind me look like a person. Just almost looked like a woman in a white wedding gown. And I turned and I physically saw her, and as I saw her, she just disappeared. And I didn't know what to think about that, so I started asking questions after I got out of the bathroom. I guess somebody else saw her too. One of the mediums had seen her. And I guess it was Mrs. Pyle. She basically still lives in the house. I thought it was the nanny, maybe, but the owner, he showed me a picture of her, and it looked very, very similar. He had an old-time picture of her. So that was really cool. As I was setting up the DVR cameras, and there's a lot of bedrooms and stuff in this place, I was upstairs. I think I was in the second or third bedroom, and I just felt like I was being watched. And another investigator walked in, and we both turned at the same time and looked out the doorway, and there was a person there, and then they basically started walking away from the door and disappeared. And I asked him, I thought, I'm thinking to myself, okay, did I really just see that? And I said, did you see that? And I had him describe it. And he saw the same thing I did. And that was cool. My last personal experience was when we were getting ready for bed. We actually slept down in the old lawyer's office. We slept on the couch and chairs in there because they were comfortable. And that was supposed to be a hot spot for activity too. As I was undoing my sleeping bag and went to turn to lay it down, out of the corner of my eye, I caught what looked like a very large person and in a suit. just in a black suit. Couldn't quite see the face. The face was kind of blurred, and it was more whitish than anything else. It didn't have really any defining features. I think maybe it was in the process of manifesting, if you will. So as I turned and I looked out the door, I saw it. I'm like, oh, and then he just disappeared. I thought it was the actual owner of the house. I thought he came down just to check on us, make sure we were okay and everything, and stuff like that. But no, he disappeared. I walked out. I'm like, wait, what? And there was nowhere for him to have gone. He just disappeared. What's interesting is we caught something on video through the front door because it's a glass front door. You can see out the window. We caught something walking by out there. And I have a video of me walking by. I'm about 1.5 feet, 2 feet lower than the top of the door. I'm 6'2". Whatever this was had to be at least 2 feet taller than me, and it was massive, just massive. It filled up the whole doorway as it walked by outside. I don't know if it was a manifestation or if it was looking in. I'm starting to wonder. They're in Bigfoot territory, so I'm starting to scratch my head and go, wait, did they? Was that a Bigfoot? I don't know. I'm gonna have to review the video more, but it does kind of look like a Bigfoot. So that's what's coming down the pike. We're going to be doing a lot of cool events, more events where we're going to be hosting it. Amanda and I are going to try and get to the point where we're hosting an event at least once a month for people to come out and investigate locations with us. If you don't know, on our Facebook account, Woods Paranormal, if you go into my account, but the business account, there is the old San Jacinto jail investigation coming up on November 24th. Essentially, what we're going to do is it's $30 a person. We're going to make a good-sized donation to the jail for allowing us to basically be there, and then the rest is basically just going to cover our expenses. But essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to investigate not only the jail, we're going to have access to the old schoolhouse, we're going to have access to the old post office, and we're going to have access to the train depot, which is really cool because I work for Union Pacific now. And so the more I talk to engineers and stuff like that, the more I basically learn the lingo and the more I've been able to communicate with whatever's over there. So that's an ongoing investigation at the old jail. We're going to be continuing to investigate over there. If we have a good turnout, we'll set up another event where you guys can come out there. There's no air conditioning or anything, so we have to do those events when it's cooler. But we're always looking for venues to either come podcast at or to, like we did with the Pyle House. And then if it's haunted, we'd love to stay and investigate with you. Well, that's something that a lot of people don't know. We investigate with our clientele, be it if it's a private home, a business, whatever. We investigate with people that either work there, that manage it, or they're the owners. And if they're willing to stay. Bigfoot as well. If you've experienced Bigfoot activity, we take you back out to the locations where you've experienced Bigfoot activity, and then we essentially will, try and communicate with the Bigfoots and take away some of that fear. Because I don't think Bigfoots, I think they get a bad rap. I think that, yes, they're territorial. Yes, they scare people out of locations. But I think they're also very kind and very passionate and stuff like that too. So anyways, this is getting a little long. Look for the following podcast coming out Monday. I got to get my Bigfoot only podcast out here maybe tomorrow. I know Amanda wants to do a podcast too. Maybe she'll talk about her experiences at the Pyle House if she had any. I know I can't talk about the evidence yet because we haven't reviewed it. We're still in the process of reviewing the evidence. So once we finish reviewing the evidence, we'll do not only a YouTube show where you guys can watch what happened throughout the night. Sorry, every time I start to talk, the puppy starts to bark in the background. I close the door, which he's not very happy with. You can hear him scratching on the door. Anyways, this is the end of the podcast, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. You guys have a great night, and basically be looking for that Facebook event. If you're interested in going, it's $30 a person. If you want to bring your group out there, we'll love to have you. We'll let you. We'll kind of give you free reign to investigate wherever you want. We just need to talk to you about making sure you're being, polite and stuff like that. The jail, over 400 people have died at the jail on the property, either being hanged inside the jail or outside on the property. And then did I mention it's in Bigfoot territory? I'm sorry. Everything comes back to Bigfoot for some reason. All right. So yeah, that's what's coming down the pike. Oh yeah. And I am rocking the new Woods Paranormal. Let me move this over. Woods Paranormal podcast shirt and hat. We got that for the Pyle House, and as per normal, something happened with the shipping and it didn't show up. So just put these on tonight. I really like them. If you'd like a t-shirt or hat, let me know. I'm gonna have to revise this hat a little bit because it doesn't say basically the other part of what this says. It says welcome to our paranormal podcast. Should be down there in gray, and unfortunately they weren't able to fit it in there. So anyways, that's what's going on. Thank you guys for listening. We're going to try and get up to 5 podcasts a week out. We're going to be doing some other cool stuff and going from there. So anyways, you guys have a great night, and we'll catch you on the next one.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.